And it begins. I I gotta turn this lower or shut it off. Um, but I need something to like break the silence because it's like so much pressure. So it's 9:33 right now. 9 being representative of completion, 33 being the master teacher. I didn't plan any of this. It's just what's happening. So what I want to talk about, or what I will be talking about in this video today, is about next year. So this year is the year of the snake in the Chinese zodiac. And if you had like, or have been having a rough year so far, it's like, I don't want to say it's too late, but I want to say that like usually with this Chinese zodiac stuff, you want to prepare before the next year, or you want to get it into your mind, like what is happening or what is going to happen, so you can get ready, so you can like establish certain safeguards or guardrails in your mind. So next year is going to be the year of the horse, and this is for everybody. But I'm going to touch on, like, first of all, like if you're someone born in the year of the horse and we're going into the year of the horse, what that's going to look like for you. What I want to look at on the zodiacal wheel is if the horse is the last sign, or if, because I think, so the rat and the horse are enemy signs, but I was going to make a connection like the first sign being the rat and then the last sign being the horse, but it's all good. We don't have to do that. First Chinese zodiac sign is the rat, and then last Chinese zodiac sign, the pig. Okay, so it don't matter. I was gonna make like, it would make sense for me if the rat was the first and then the horse would be the last, because the horse is the enemy of the rat is the enemy of the horse, but they're not really enemies like we talked about. Yo, did it stop tracking me? Track me. What did it say? Okay. All right, we're good. We're back. We're back. We got motion. So yeah. If you're born in the year of the horse and you're going into a horse year, I talked about the avatars for the pig. I talked about the avatars for the snake. Let's talk about some of the avatars for the horse. If you're a horse, you can be different versions of a horse. You can be different avatars of a horse. You can be a racehorse, which is like, like you see like race, you know what a racehorse is. So you can be like super athletic and you can be like racing to get to where you want to go. You can be a workhorse, which is like, you see those like really buff horses. They're like workhorses. All they do is just work all day, just pull stuff. And then you can be a donkey. A donkey is like a type of horse. So you can be like a donkey. So there's times when you have to be an ass, like a literal donkey. And then Jesus like rides in on a donkey, right? So it's like, I'm not trying to put shade on the donkey. I'm not trying to throw shade on the ass. Like, it's all of these avatars have their own purpose in certain situations. But going into next year, if you are someone that is born in the year of the horse, but also anybody, this is like more extreme and it like really hits home for people born in the year of the horse. But if you're anybody, like, it doesn't matter what sign you are, these are going to be the things that you have to like keep in mind. Or like, you can still channel your horse avatar, which is a crazy thing to say. But yeah, so there are going to be times next year where you have to be a racehorse, where you have to race out of situations, where you have to race out of relationships, where you have to race out of like the job you're at into like something new, or like you're competing. It's a competitive avatar. You're competing against other horses to be the winning racehorse. And people are either going to bet on you to be the winning horse, or they're going to bet against you to be the horse that loses. So that. The other avatar that you're going to have to channel next year is the avatar of the workhorse. And if you are like working a job, you know, or like you're like starting a family or you're moving somewhere new, you're going to have to channel your workhorse. You're going to have to be a workhorse. You're going to have to like just get stuff done, you know, wake up early, you know, like just get your day going, finish up late if you have to, and just work through all of these things. And the workhorse is like a really muscular, like gigantic horse because it does need to pull stuff. Like there's those horses that like just pull like logs through the forest. Those horses are like super strong because they have to be. So you're going to have to be super strong when you have to be, super resilient when you have to be. Applies to everybody else as well and other signs, but more so to you. The other one would be the donkey. So there's times when you're gonna have to be an ass to people. You're gonna have to just be a jerk, and you're gonna have to be like, "Hey, I can't go do that. Can't hang out with you. I can't be your friend anymore. I can't be in a relationship with you anymore." You have to be an ass. If you just got promoted to like a manager position, or especially if you're like an assistant manager, you're an ass. And like in its name itself, like the first three letters of assistant are ASS. So you're gonna have to be like an ass to people sometimes, which is why you got promoted. It's because like you're someone that is going to have to take like leadership, and leadership isn't always like sweet. And we learned that from Machiavelli, but not really, because the guy was kind of like an ass. But the I was thinking, yeah. So if you think about all of the, like, who is operating the workhorse, who is operating the racehorse, who is operating the donkey? With the racehorse, the jockey is in control of the racehorse, right? So it's like someone that's like very lightweight, someone that like isn't, you know, like as fast as the horse, that has to like keep their weight down, and has to be like very focused on maintaining that horse's mental state and that horse's, you know, just mind, and its body. So you're gonna have to do that for yourself. You're gonna have to be your own jockey. You're literally not like an actual like physical horse. Like you get that. You're a human. You're watching this video or you're listening to it. But you're gonna have to understand that you are both the jockey and the racehorse. You're gonna have to be a bit of a jock. You know, you're gonna have to be a bit of an athlete if you want to compete with other people in the year of the horse. And this is gonna apply to everyone. Like it's gonna be a competitive year for people, for some of it. The other one would be like the workhorse. You know, who is operating the workhorse? Who is like telling the workhorse what to do? It's the farmer, or it's whoever is like needing a certain task done. So you're gonna have to be your own farmer. You're gonna have to be like your own master, and you know, give yourself breaks. You know, if you have a workhorse and the workhorse, you just work it, work it, work it. You have to like give it a break every once in a while. You have to allow it time to feed, allow it time to just to recuperate, and understand that like you're in that role. So if you are showing up early to work every day and leaving work late every day, and you're outworking everybody, you're like the super most amazing workhorse, then you have to give yourself some time to breathe, some time to relax, some time to recharge. Yeah. The with the ass, like I think I already talked about that a little bit. Yeah, so we're good with that. I'm trying to think about like, yeah, let's think about like some higher level, some like S tier level avatars for the horse. The unicorn. So unicorn is a horse, right? And there's another one too. So unicorn is like this rare mythical creature with like the one horn, you know, right? And with the rainbow. So you're gonna have to channel your unicorn. You know, are you gonna be running into like a unicorn opportunity this like next year? Are you gonna be going into a field or somewhere where like you're investing, or like a relationship where you find like a girl or a guy or whoever you find, and they're like your unicorn, and deciphering if that's a good unicorn or a bad unicorn? Like, are they like a super manipulator that is just like able to like, hide who they really are, and they're actually like a demon horse, which is something we got to talk about as well, which is, Katy Perry's song, Dark Horse? That is like a secret song. It's like obviously it's like sounds however it sounds, but there's very poetic qualities in that song. The Like, right off the rip, what is a dark horse? What is a dark horse? Have you thought about that? Like, what is dark? If we associate, like, as far as like astrological like times or like astronomical times, like, what is dark? It's night. So it's night. And then what is a horse? You can say a mare, right? Mare. So what is a dark horse? It's a nightmare, right? So are you going to have situations where you encounter a unicorn, but that unicorn ends up being a nightmare, a dark horse? That is like a duality, right? So understanding that, I just kind of threw that in there. I think the third like epic level avatar I want to talk about for the horse would be the Pegasus. So like everybody knows about the Pegasus, like the horse with the wings, with like Hercules and stuff. So you are going to, in certain situations, have to be the Pegasus, have to be a horse that sprouts wings and is able to like just take off. Or like with Hercules, if you have someone in your life that is a Hercules, or someone in your life that is in need of your help, you're gonna have to summon your Pegasus. So giving somebody a ride when they need to, or just rescuing someone out of a situation, show up as that Pegasus. Obviously don't get yourself like in trouble or get hurt, but yeah, you get that. The two other things I want to touch on or are the like horse phonetically, and then I want to touch on like the enemy sign of the horse, which is the rat, and how you can avoid falling over as a horse, or like stumbling. So the phonetically, horse sounds like HORSE. Phonetically sounds like HOARSE, which is when someone speaks hoarsely to you, when someone is hoarse in their way of communicating. So watch out for that. Watch out for someone speaking hoarsely to you, and you being someone of the year of the horse, or you being any other sign, and understanding that you can navigate that with your avatars, navigate that with your Pegasus, navigate that with your unicorn, navigate that with your racehorse, navigate that with your workhorse, and understand that people next year might be trying to provoke you by speaking in a hoarse tone or a hoarse way of communicating with you, or whoever you're in a relationship with, or whatever it may be. So keep that in mind. Also be aware of you speaking hoarsely to people, you being like, when you're in this like workhorse mode, when you're in this like racehorse mode, that you're not speaking, when you're in like this ass mode, the donkey mode, that you're not like speaking too hoarsely to someone, that you're not being too like rough with them. Because a horse is like a gigantic like animal, and horses can be very rough. They can kick, they can like bite, but don't, be careful. Other things with the horse, just biologically, horses have like like teeth, like very beautiful teeth. So take care of your teeth next year, obviously, for the rest of your life. But it's like something. Go to the dentist. Take care of what you have to take care of. There's a certain, I think it's in Vedic or in Hindu belief. It's like once you start taking care of your teeth, you'll become wealthy. Or once you feel, because if you think about it, like legitimately, like every time you talk to someone, every time you breathe, everything is coming in and going out through your mouth, and you're subconsciously aware of your teeth situation. So I'm not saying that in a bad way. I've had like, I don't want to talk about it, but yeah. So work on all that. And then horses, if they eat the wrong thing, they can't throw up. So they just like fall over, and then like they get colic, I think, or they like just whatever the heck is called, and then they just like pass away. So be careful with that. Be careful with like consuming poison or consuming content or whatever you consume that you can't regurgitate, because horses can't do that. So obviously you're human, you can like throw up and stuff, but just be careful with that. Careful with consuming the wrong thing, consuming the wrong person, allowing someone into your life, and not being able to throw them up, not being able to like spit them out, and like, you know, that the so that and then with the kicking, obviously careful with kicking people, because like horses have like really strong legs. Your shoes, horses have shoes, so like make sure you have good shoes next year. Make sure you have good shoes every year. But you know, if it's like something where you buy new shoes and you buy them for like running, you buy like nice Hoka shoes, or you buy like, you know, whatever Nikes you want to buy for like running, or nice basketball shoes. Be wary of like your foot situation, and like replace like your shoes. Right, your shoes are directly tied into like phonetically like your soul, like your actual SOLES, your SOUL, your soul. So your souls and your soul are kind of like connected. That's why like when you have like big shoes to fill, like someone you like if someone tells you got big shoes to fill, or like if you had to walk 1,000 miles in my shoes, that type of thing. Um, or you have to, you know, like that type of thing. So just be wary of like, because your shoes are like what connects you to like the earth, what keeps you grounded, literally. And just, you know, take care of that. The what I'm going to segue into is the year of the rat people, or the year of the rat humans, and what you got to kind of watch out for, but you got to understand is that like if your enemy sign is the rat and you're a horse, I said like in the other videos, like you shouldn't be scared of your enemy sign. A lot of people, they get this thing where they're like, oh, like it's your enemy sign, you should like stay in the house all year, you have to like be careful. If you're someone in the year they're at, you know, don't do that. Please don't do that. Just, you have to assimilate your enemy sign. You have to become your enemy sign for you to become the strongest version of yourself. Your enemy is someone just like you. They're just on the other side of the coin, and they have the same well, not the same passions, but they have like the same level of energy towards whatever passion you have, whatever thing you're like, you know, just in love with, that you work for really, really hard. They have that, but just on the other side. So channel that. And the horse, what the horse does is a horse can just trample over mice. It can trample over rats, and like it can just has like, it's gigantic, right? It can just like smush all these things with like just one step, right? So be careful with that. Be careful not to step on people, not to step on like people that are born in the year of the rat. You know, watch out for that next year. And this is like in conversations as well. Like don't like racehorse your way into a conversation and then like snuff out the energy of the conversation and just talk about what you want to talk about. So just watch that, and like, you know, speak hoarsely. Don't be like, you know, just watch out for that stuff. You speak hoarsely when sometimes you're gonna have to speak hoarsely next year, which is good too. All these things have like the flip side. The other thing to look out for is like, if you think about it, like, oh, the horse is like this big, big animal, and then the rat is like this tiny little animal. Like, how could those ever compete? But if you think like a mouse or a mice could just literally take a piece of string between its teeth and just run around the horse and just tie the horse up, and the horse would just topple over. And then for a horse to get up, it's like a feat. You know, it's like, if you think literally, like phonetically, like feet. But it's like a chore, right? To like, if you try and smush someone, but they're like a super astute rat, because rats, you're the rat are like super smart. If you try and like stomp on someone and they're like not the person to stomp on, then they could like with all of their might, like the mighty mouse, they could just make you fall over and make it really hard to get back up on your own will, on your own volition. So that's that. And this video is almost 20 minutes now. Last little reward would be, watch out for next year and watch in for a new car. The year of the horse, if you think about it, like the car is the ultimate horse, right? Like the chariot, right? So like watch for a new car. Pay attention to like if you're gonna be able to get a new car, if like you're gonna be able to upgrade your literal horse, like the horses, the horsepower and stuff like that. Watch out for like racing people. Um, be careful just because you're a horse and you have like very good control over like, you know, horsepower and all of that. Careful not to like be racing people. Don't be like racing people all the time, like, you know, just or ever really. Just be careful. And if you do go race someone, do it like at somewhere you're supposed to do it. Do it at a track. Do it somewhere you're supposed to do it. Don't just do it like on the street, you know, because then you're endangering people. Because you could be that horse galloping, galloping, galloping. You could be winning that race, and then boom, there's a little old lady, and she's born in the year of the rat, and then you just trample over her, and then your life just goes right, and then that would be tough to get up from. So watch out for those things. With the car thing, this stuff is like dual sided. So like you could be getting a new car because like something bad happens to your car, you know, and then like that is like a gateway or a portal into like something better. So keep that in mind. Like I had a car, I hit a deer. Deers aren't really horses, but you know, they're closer to horses than they are like, you know, lizards. But I hit a deer, car got totaled, and now I have this car, and this car is like awesome. So understand those things, and yeah, I'm not gonna talk about the French people eating horses. I did debate that just now. Uh, equestrian, like when people like ride horses, like equestrian, quest. They're like, it's a quest, it's an adventure. So be adventurous this year, you know, like be adventurous. The other type of horse is a pony. Watch out, you know, for being a pony. That's like a show pony. Watch out for being like too much of a show pony and like showing off too much. Um, what a video. The year of the rat, if you're the year of the rat and you're going into next year and you're like fearful, I'll talk about that in another video. This has become an episode. So I'll see you next time. I will now attempt to stop the recording. Yeah, see, attempting. Try it. These gestures work like sometimes. If it's, I mean, it was so impressive. The other day I did it and it worked. But I'll see you in the next one.